What's up, guys? It's John at National Sports Entertainment, and obviously, typically we just go into the scripted sports world, but there are occasions in which I go into other things. We'll dip my toe into some other sectors, and the Mr. Beast saga is something I've been covering for quite a bit now. In this, I've only, if you know, before the first channel was Thanos Snapped, we had like 4 or 5 videos going over this guy's fake island, his phony baloney giveaways, his Fugazi friends who he's given money to, saying that they're strangers, all these different things. How this guy just came from obscurity and is just, billed and pushed as the nicest guy alive. There's so much to go into with this guy, so much to unpack. I could do a 10-hour documentary. And again, whether it's the behind the scenes things, whether it's people coming out saying the guy's full of shit, whether it's the videos themselves, which are laughable to believe that they are true. The reason I think this guy is especially dangerous is he admittedly targets children. Like, that's who he goes after in his videos. So his videos are specifically made for kids. And the scary part is we have a good populace of our adult population that actually believes what this guy is spewing. So he's in the news now because he was able to silence Elon Musk. He savagely just shot down Elon Musk's offer, and I'm sure Musk is crying over it. I'm sure Musk might shut down his business and just close doors because the great Mr. Beast is telling him he's not good enough. And I'm going to go into what exactly happened and transpired. So for the most part, let's get back to the roots. Young Jimmy Donaldson, years ago, had a dream, a very simple dream. He wanted to give all of his money away, like Elon Musk, and he wanted to die with no money in his bank account. This is, stuff he's said on multiple occasions. It's not about the money, it's about helping people, right? So, he's a guy who wants to help people. He wants to be like Elon Musk, and he wants to give people more money than he makes himself. What a nice guy. He's a philanthropist, as you can see. Just a super salt of the earth guy that we should all be showing respect, right? Well, it's interesting because he turned down Elon Musk's offer here, and this is just the beginning of how this guy's a hypocrite, a liar. Nothing he says makes sense. And I'll go into some other stuff that we've covered. I just advise you to watch this guy's videos. They're laughably doctored and laughably fake. They're just fake. There's no other way around it. Every part of these videos are fake. The fake actors that he's given the money to. Okay, I have nowhere near as many subscribers as Mr. Beast, and I can confirm to round up 100 of my subscribers and do a giveaway would be almost impossible. I mean, of course you can get it done, but it's not like this man has a Discord that he's in and he's like getting everybody's name and address. You just watch these videos and it's like, oh, random subscriber number 1,472,000. And they just show up there. We don't understand. He never gives any context as to how he gives these people money, how he finds these random subscribers, and I'm completely convinced that none of these people are actually subscribers. I believe he just knows them, or he's paying people and they sign NDAs, which was basically confirmed by a lot of people that were on his. We heard about the girl that was on there. She was a content creator, and basically to make it more entertaining, they had some. I guess it was a game of tag, and she made it to the final three. Logan Paul was eliminated pretty early, but to make it interesting, they doctored the video to make it look like Logan Paul made the final three. So that's something that's very, very, in my opinion, minor and not that big of a deal. You're just trying to make the video more entertaining. I can give leeway there, although it's kind of unfair to this poor content creator who could have got a lot more exposure but was kind of buried because she wasn't the most popular. But it's because of the fact that we know he doctors his videos. Editors have actually said he has been personally attacking them and basically calling them idiots for not being able to edit certain parts of his videos. And it's because he's lying so much. These editors aren't getting paid nearly enough, by the way, because the amount of lies he tells and the numbers that just don't add up. Because he has like those clocks where it's like he's like, whether it's the fake lottery ticket videos or whatever they may be, and it just doesn't make sense. He'll be like, "Oh, I bought 1,000 cars, in 2 days," and then if you add up like the time that it would take for him to do it, his calculations don't even come close to realistic numbers. So again, whoever's editing his videos they're not getting paid nearly enough. That's probably why he goes through editors so quick. But it just doesn't make sense. None of his videos make sense. I always advise people to watch the one. It's like I gave people $30,000 or something. It might have been more, but it's the video where the thumbnail says like click this video and you get like a nickel or something stupid like that. I went into that video. So anyway, if you watch my submarine video, I covered that video in pretty good detail. And I had covered the island videos, which I'll probably cover again, and again before the other channel got Thanos snapped, just because they're so ridiculous. But again, we know the backstory on him. He's an Elon Musk loving, philanthropy loving, people loving guy who just wants to be a nice guy. So why did he turn down Mr. Musk? Well, it turns out it's because his videos cost millions to make, and even if they got 1 billion views, it wouldn't fund a fraction of it. So again, we never understand how this guy made his money, and it's his right to not tell us. But when you have an individual who said in his one of his very first videos, "I'm going to be YouTube famous, not I'm going to give people millions of dollars," and then after like 8 cracks at it, on the 9th crack, he decided to do the fake money giveaways, and now he's famous. I do think that it warrants just looking into and a little bit of investigation. And now he's apparently just walking back his dream because it should have nothing to do with money. So now he is admitting, which is nice for finally to see, that he does make his YouTube videos so he can make money. And by giving other people money, it helps him make money. The business grows, and then even if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, he can then use that money to give people money and still get richer in the process. I don't even think he gives money away. I personally don't. Even if he's making 10x what he's giving away and supposedly giving away in these videos, he just seems like a complete liar, so I don't know why he would draw the line at not giving away fake money. We've seen people show the videos of him giving away fake money. He says, "Oh, well, I don't want people to have real money, then they might get jumped. So instead I'm going to drop this duffel bag of money hanging out of it on this delivery person's lap in public with everybody watching. Even though it's fake money, I'm going to do the same thing." It makes no sense. If you gave somebody a big bag of fake money, somebody that's 10 feet away isn't going to see that. They're just going to see the bag. They're not going to know it's fake money, and the person's just as likely to get mugged. So his reasoning makes absolutely no sense. He talks about how he doesn't know how taxes work. So I just don't think somebody that has this type of business approach would be this stupid. But anyway, I digress. I want to go into the video, or into his rebuttal here. So he says, "I'm down to testing stuff once monetization's really cranking." So he's basically trolling Musk, saying, "Yeah, I'm way too big to be doing stuff on Twitter. I'm making more than enough money. Go pound sand, Elon." Now, that's basically the extent of it. It wasn't anything crazy, but that was just something I found interesting because I remember distinctly this guy saying how he wanted to be the YouTube version of Elon Musk. And now he's getting an opportunity to work directly with his hero, his supposed hero. And the only reason he's not doing it, it's not because he doesn't like Musk. It's not because he loves YouTube. It's because it's going to affect his bottom line, which shouldn't matter. Like, honestly, again, if this guy has the money and I do think he's got a lot of money. I think it'd be really hard for him to lie and, like, have Forbes acknowledge him, all these different people acknowledge him as being a multi-millionaire. So I do think he has money. I think he's got it through scams and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's poor. That's one thing I don't think he's lying about. I just think he's lying about everything else. Now, the Musk thing's interesting on its own. It's not like proof of anything. Maybe he's just we all get older. We change our minds on things. Maybe he's, grown so much that he decides, you know what, I have some leverage. Musk needs me more than I need him. Whatever the case may be. Again, this is the same man that said he went a month without eating. This is the same man that said they reached out to him specifically. They only reached out to exploration experts and oceanographers, but then they made an exception and reached out to Mr. Beast so he could join that submarine, but he had an intuitive feeling and he decided to decline them. So, I just don't understand how people believe this guy. Here is him being so humble. pointing out how he put everybody else to shame last year on YouTube, spinning it as a thank you, but he doesn't even say thank you if you look at it. It's kind of, you know, a way that he is, and I swear Mr. Beast does this on purpose. Like, it comes off like a joke. Go watch or I'll drop kick you. But I really think this is this guy's attitude. I really do. I don't think this guy cares about people. Here's him lying about dogs, which really, obviously of all the things to lie about, I think lying about helping doggos might be the worst. And again, at the end, go watch the new video. Guy doesn't give a crap about the dogs. He just cares about people watching. Here's this, go watch this video. So he just plugs his own videos, of course. It took longer to edit than I thought. I'm shocked that it would take Mr. Beast a while to edit his videos. I mean, they're so transparent that I would think they'd be out in seconds. There should be nothing to edit. But no, obviously, all of his videos take forever to edit because they're just full of nonsense. And again, you can watch any one of this man's videos. If you go to, here's one. I spent 7 days in solitary confinement. And oh yeah, here's the psychiatrist. So like, this is how this video goes. Like, and it's just ridiculous. So as you can see, he's going to spend 7 days in solitary confinement, and then they have this ridiculous edited room, and you can't really see anything. He's just going to tell us what he's going to do, and we're going to see about, 15 minutes of what he's actually saying he's going to do. But good thing Mr. Beast has a psychiatrist on hand. Here's this very official-looking psychiatrist. He's got the shirt on, so he must be a psychiatrist. He tells us about his experience, and that's the extent of that. Of course, we never see Jimmy go into the psychiatric office and work out a deal with this guy. We never see any credentials when he does these type of things. He did the same thing with jail, and anybody that's been in jail would just laugh because you don't have cops going out of their way to empty out their facility to monitor you and book you, and he actually acted like that was going to happen. So in this video, yeah, we can see he's in solitary confinement with a cell phone, so yeah, not really solitary confinement. But even if we eliminate the fact that he has things that you would not get in solitary confinement, these videos are just, so hour 7, you can see hour 8, so much, oh wow, yeah, so much proof here, hour 9, like, again, he's just giving us so much proof that he's actually in this room. Like, there's no way he could have just been standing here and then just had this stupid time lapse go by and trick us. Oh, here's hour 10. Must have been in there another hour because he says so. And now he's talking about food, which is interesting because this guy went 30 days without eating, so this should be nothing for him. So it's interesting he's getting hungry already because in another video, again, he was like on day 19 and he's like, oh yeah, still feel pretty good. So like, it's not just this video, it's every single video. You literally just see him doing what he claims he's going to be doing. Oh, here are the cute doggos, really to tug at our heartstrings. And then it just flips to a completely different setting. Like, you don't see this guy actually with qualified people and adopting these dogs and giving them out. You just see, again, these random people pop up out of nowhere. They literally he just conjures them out, out of nowhere. And they would just see these random dogs. And then throughout the video, of course, you just have random people coming in. Nothing but jump cuts, which is his number one go-to move. He just does the jump cut so people will see Biscuit here and the great interaction Biscuit has. And then you jump cut to a few minutes later where somebody's walking away with Biscuit. And these are all of this guy's videos. It's just a joke. And again, here's another great one. 100 days trapped, win 500,000. I think this is the one where he took 2, quote, strangers and stuck them in a room. And again, if you look at the actions of the 2, quote, strangers, they look nothing like 2 random subscribers. They just look like friends of Mr. Beast. But again, all of his videos are this way. I think once you like understand how his videos are done, then it's really easy to understand how easy it is for this guy to lie. So now he's just laughing it off. He spent 12 hours in solitary confinement. No big deal for Mr. Beast, though. The same guy who was buried alive for 30 days. Of course, it's his friends monitoring this. Again, like, these types of things, I think just because like they throw on scrubs, like the lady there is supposed to be a professional, he actually believes that people, and most kids do, will just take him at face value because, oh, again, this guy is so hungry for a guy that went 30 days without eating. I find that just miraculous. But again, they throw on scrubs and they have this lady sitting there in front of a computer and it just gives him a little bit more credibility. Like, oh wow, this lady's a professional, or like the fake psychiatrist who said I'm a psychiatrist, so he must be one. But my point is, the guy simply lies about everything. Like, I don't think there's a more dishonest YouTuber out there than this guy. Again, if you look at some of the things that he says he does, he either, here's another little quick bait, I quit, sometimes he'll just, reduce himself to anything. 7 days buried alive. I mean, again, some of these things are laughable. And of course, he's not even doing what he's saying he's doing, even if we take it on face value, because he's given himself luxuries that you're not going to have if you're buried alive, and you're not going to have if you're in solitary confinement. But even at the end of the day, the time lapse is the most ridiculous part. At least when David Blaine did his shit, he did it live. So you could see him doing it. Like, there's still ways to cheat it, of course. But when you do something and you don't even show the live action, you just see day 4, and then 5 minutes later, it's like day 5. I don't understand why he wouldn't at least one time go out of his way to prove he's actually doing these things, unless he was completely lying about them. And again, the island video is a great one because you can watch there's like 3 island videos where the first one, they're scratching off lottery tickets that he supposedly bought, which again, if you look at the lottery tickets, they're actually from Texas, and he's supposedly in North Carolina doing it. I suppose he could have moved to Texas to do it. Again, I went into that video deeply. And then in that video, he's like, I'm going to buy an island for all these random people helping me out, who all turned out to be friends. Like, you could see them in different videos earlier than this scratch off video, doing in different capacities, and he's acting like he just met them all. And then the island video himself I went into, because there's absolutely no proof this one man bought the island. And what he does in that video, I could get 5 of my friends, get in a boat, go to the nearest marsh, and start exploring, like, and say, oh yep, this is an island I just bought. It literally looks like that's what he does. Again, it's another deal where he doesn't show any proof he bought the island. And again, I don't want to go too much into every video this guy's ever done, but they're some of the few videos: the island video, the not eating video, the curing the blind video, and the bank video, because again, that's the one where he was caught giving away fake money. You can just tell this guy is not telling the truth. And again, everyone has like those theories that they'll feel really vindicated once they're proven correct. I'm sure you have that one where you're just like, you know what, I know that there's Nazis on the other side of the moon, and I can't wait until it's proven. Whatever the theory is, everyone's got one. One of mine is this Mr. Beast nonsense. I'm going to really appreciate the day people come out and start in unison admitting that this guy's a complete liar. He's not giving away money. They're staged actors. If you watch the reactions of these people, there's no way that they are just random subscribers. Look at this old guy to his right. I seriously doubt this old guy's subscribed to Mr. Beast. But you can see for the most part it's kids. He just targets kids. But I found the Musk information really interesting because, again, it goes against his entire gimmick. This guy's entire gimmick is, again, he wants to die poor. He just wants to give away money. He's a simple guy. Doesn't want a nice house. Doesn't want a nice car. And his first response to his supposed hero is, yeah, you're not going to make me enough money. And you could argue, well, of course he needs money. How can he give away money if he's not making money? This dude obviously has enough money. He's even said it. And it brings up a very, another quandary that I've had from the very beginning with this guy. The amount of money he claims to give away, and again, this is just in videos. So let's just assume he doesn't give a dime away outside of his videos, right? Because, and he claims he does. He claims that he's cleaning the oceans up and planting trees. So we would imagine he is putting money into these videos. But, and he might, I'm not sure how much, he would make. But doing the math, I don't think this guy is making tens of millions of dollars a video. And in some videos, he's giving away a good fraction of $1,000,000. So the up cost for the channel, especially since you have to imagine, he didn't start with 260 million subscribers. This guy started, he kind of came out of nowhere. So I feel like he has some connection to somebody that's pretty high up as far as status. But his beginning, he didn't have the same views, the same engagement he has now. But he was making the same absurd claims. So it's like, okay, well, where's he getting this money that he's always giving money away, not really taking money in? and it just makes you question things. So apparently he makes the money from his YouTube channel, and then that gives him more than enough to give away money and still make a profit. I think he's just keeping the money from the YouTube channel and having friends or paid actors fight over these fake islands. That island was supposedly $800,000. I went into the video. I called the agency that rented out the tropical island. It's the name of the island is Golden K, Golding. I think it's Golding K, Kay, and it's off the Bahamas. And yeah, it hadn't been sold since like 2013 when I had called and inquired about it. I had sent an email. I can even pull up the email one of these times, and they responded by essentially telling me, yeah, right now it's not for sale, but it hasn't been sold since 2013, and you can inquire about other islands. But basically, it was confirmed that this island had not been bought or sold, and it's literally now it's the same price. If you try and buy it, just go online and go to Golden K like you're gonna buy it. It's the same price as he claims to have bought it for. So again, no proof this guy ever bought the island. And then again, to distance himself from it, he said he gave it to his friend Chandler. And then, like within 2 weeks, Chandler dropped a Twitter video saying, "Oh yeah, people were curious as to why I sold the island. I didn't know I had to pay taxes on it, so I sold it." To put in perspective, the taxes in the Bahamas are lower than Florida. So a property tax on an $800,000 island would run him less than 10,000. It'd probably run him a couple $1,000s a year. So I have a very hard time believing good old Jimmy here wouldn't give Cameron the money for the taxes, or Cameron himself, or Chandler. I'm sorry, I always mixed that guy's name up with Cameron for some reason. Chandler himself wouldn't be able to afford those taxes. It makes no sense. Just an easy way to get the island out of their name. It never was in their name. It was never proven that he bought it. And then it's up, we don't know taxes, so he sold it. And that's another tactic that Mr. Beast uses anytime he's asked. Logan Paul kind of pressed him about the business aspect, and you could see him get very uncomfortable. And every time he just shifted it to, oh, my mom does my accounting, or I have an accountant. I don't know how taxes work, so I just buy stuff and let people handle it. It's ridiculous because you wouldn't be able to even buy an island deed. Again, in this stupid video, he just shows himself shaking some guy's hand, and I guess that was enough proof that he bought the island. This guy would not be able to be where he is now, even if you're a completely incompetent screwjob and you have a team that does everything for you. You're going to know the ins and outs of the business just by dabbling in what he dabbles in. So I don't buy for a second that this guy doesn't know how taxes work, or that's why they sell everything. And again, I'm going to do. I mean, I don't really care enough to do it just because I did it before, and I think most people that watch my channel understand this guy is a complete phony. But there is the Mr. Beast cult who will get very angry, which I don't really care about. But I think it's necessary because, again, this guy's fooling full grown adults. Worse off, he's fooling children. And I defy you to watch a few of his videos. Again, if you watch my submarine video on him, it's like the only other one on this channel that I did. I go into a specific video where it's clear as day the guy's lying. Multiple examples of paid actors, examples of him contradicting himself. I go into the jump edits, how they make no sense. I even go into where he says where he's at doesn't make any sense because basically he said he was at a school giving away free stuff, but it was when COVID would have been happening, and there's nobody in the school anyway except one person, like one lone soul who I guess is working by herself. The whole thing is so suspicious. And this goes for all of his videos. If I watched any one of his videos, I could pick it apart and find 1,000 contradictions. But as you just saw with the solitary confinement, little spoiler there, that's basically how all of his videos work. He says, I'm doing this thing. You see a time clock where, again, there's no way to prove he's actually in there that long. He makes a couple stupid statements. He tries to act like, oh, now I'm getting hungry. Oh, I'm starting to feel the effects now. And he doesn't even sell it even remotely enough. Then you have the quote experts come in and tell them, to tell us why they're an expert. We never see them again. They just look like some random guy's uncle. They never look like they're actually who they say they are. And they don't talk like experts. Like, everything about this guy's a joke. I honestly, I'm still shocked that after lying about curing the blind, he had to walk that one back. People are still believing in the guy. The good thing is, I would say at least probably 10 to 20% of humans now believe he's lying, at least about some of his things. Whereas before, people just took everything he said on face value. So again, you can see this guy, he's not doing, in my opinion, he's not opening Mr. Beast Burger, selling this merch to help people. Mr. Beast Burger was another one where he said it was all going to charity. Turned out he completely lied, and now he's just making a ton of money. And I did try it one time just because I really wanted to know. He runs it out of a ghost kitchen, by the way, which just basically means he's putting current businesses out of business. People argue ghost kitchens help people, but they really don't. You take a restaurant that's struggling, and you basically buy them out, and then their cooks are cooking for you around the clock, making different restaurants that worked out of these ghost kitchens, because there's no actual physical Mr. Beast burger for you guys who didn't know, because that's too expensive for Mr. Beast and probably too transparent. So he does the ghost kitchen where people just make food, these Beast burgers out of kitchens, again, that their business isn't doing too good right now. So they get a bunch of workers and they have them work long ass hours. It's 24-hour. I think it's Mr. Beast Burger is a 24-hour deal. And yeah, they just make Beast Burgers, and if you order it through Uber or any other app, then they'll just deliver it to you. But there's no actual business because, again, ghost kitchens is a very smart way to go about if you want to make money again, and that's what he wants to do is make money to increase and optimize your profits. So again, this guy knows what he's doing. He's not some naive little doofus who's just helping out kids. If he understands how ghost kitchens work, and that's basically his whole video for Beast Burger was just a plug for his new restaurant, which, by the way, it's average food. It really is. I tried it, to be fair, because I have a contrarian friend who is like, oh, he knows I hate Mr. Beast, and he's like, well, I guess hate's a strong word. I just don't have tolerance for him. But this friend I know, he knows I think Mr. Beast is a scumbag. So he's like, oh, I got Mr. Beast Burger. It's the best burger in the world. All these different things, just messing with me. So just to make sure he was messing with me, and maybe it was a good burger, I ordered it. Average food, really. It just feels like stuff you threw in the freezer and heat it up. My point is, nothing this guy doesn't benefit him directly. It all benefits him to make him look like this nice guy who's giving away money. His stories are ridiculous. And now it's at the point, again, the news is pushing this guy as a top name. Like, he's doing stuff with Gordon. He did stuff with, I forget the other person. They just mentioned it on the news. It might have been like Robert De Niro or, one of these has-been actors who went nuts. But he does things. Oh, Tom Brady, that's who it was. He did something with Tom Brady. He quote, broke a Guinness record with Cam Newton. And again, the Guinness record I'll give a little more credence to because they are pretty official with those. Again, in the video, there's really, I think one record was broken. I think like they tried to break like 15 records and basically just settled for one of those stupid records that basically hasn't been attempted, so it was pretty easy to break. But my point is, there's just too much for me to believe that this guy is on the up and up. It's always a red flag when everybody's pushing you and just giving you this superstar treatment. When the mainstream elitists are all pushing you as this amazing guy, it's the number one red flag I have, because the actual people that are doing good in the world typically get silenced. They get censored. They get treated very poorly because that's not what the elitists want. Of course, his name is Mr. Beast, so you can do what you want with that. Obviously, Mark of the Beast. But to me, this Musk argument just proves more and more how he's a hypocrite, how he's a liar. Again, he should be jumping at this possible partnership. Obviously, the monetization on Twitter is not where most of the money would be coming from. He could be doing partnerships with Elon. He could be doing so many other things. And again, it went from wanting to give people money and be like Elon to shunning Elon, and I guess he's still giving away money, he says, but I'm pretty sure pretty soon he's basically going to come out once enough people realize he's a liar and basically say, of course my videos are edited. What do you think? It's completely 100% real? Like that, that wouldn't be entertaining. Like, I just feel like he's very quickly going to finally acknowledge he's full of shit. But it's only because more and more people are waking up and realizing, even kids, not a lot of them, but enough, are realizing this guy is just a complete self-serving crony. And again, the best I can do is say watch his videos. We can always do like a reaction type deal to one of his videos. Don't want to get a copyright hit, of course, but just pick one at random, watch it, and just keep that idea in your head that maybe he is doctoring the videos, and maybe he's lying about the times and these supposed professionals. And I think once you see that, it just makes it exponentially more clear that this guy's lying. So here we go. Oh, there's some more proof that Biscuit was adopted. We just saw the counter and some lady walking away with Biscuit. Of course, we didn't see any formal paperwork filed. Here's Rocky, and up here's some, paid actor coming in, petting Rocky, and I guess that's it. Let's see. And it'd be nice if we saw him go to an actually established, accredited place. But again, we just see this random schmuck sitting there with a piece of paper. Up, shook the hand, must have bought a dog. And this is his videos. Like, there's never proof in these videos. You just see these random schmucks. You see them playing with these dogs, and then bam, at the up we saw the adopted sign. There's another. There's four. And it's just laughable how little he actually even tries to prove these points. Again, it's something where you have to go out of your way to hide the proof. It's not like by showing proof we're going to be seeing 10 minutes of boring, monotonous paperwork. He just needs to not cut out like a 30-second period where he's talking to an actual established ASPCA corporation where we can see their name. We can see an individual who gives their name, and we can look that person up and see that they actually work in animal care. And again, it's like this for all of his videos. I gave $100,000 to these apartment manager complexes. You don't see the name of the complex. You don't see the name of the apartment manager. It's some random lady just standing there, and he gives her all this money, and he's like, okay, this is to pay everybody's rent. And again, you can't even legally do that, just so you know. Like, you can't legally pay other people's rent by giving somebody a duffel bag with $10,000 in it. Almost all rental agencies accept exclusively debit cards now. They don't even accept cash anymore. And again, just giving someone that money, there's a chance that the apartment manager's going to lie about it. So, like, wouldn't it make more sense for Beast to give these people that are in the apartments the money directly? That way he knows that their expenses are getting paid for. Again, I don't want to, like, go on 50 tangents. It's just, I can't think of one video I saw from this guy where it wasn't completely laughably full of holes. And that video is the same one I was telling you about, where he says, like, the thumbnail is like, click on this video and you get a nickel or some shit, but the title is like, I helped people with $25,000. Just type something like that and you should see it. Or like I said, if you want more of the meat and bones, just check out my submarine video, because in that one I go into how he's clearly lying about being invited on that voyage. But also I go into that exact video and 4 or 5, 6 parts of the video where he's just clearly lying, editing, using fake actors. Horrible acting by the fake actors, by the way. They all have the exact same response. Oh, I have a pretty monotonous voice, and these people put me to shame. It's always, oh, this is the greatest day of my life. Subscribe to Mr. Beast. He's a great man. Like, that's these people's response every single time. Whether they're getting $1 or whether their son's being cured of cancer, which, by the way, he claimed to do. Another reason I just think he's the ultimate scum. And again, this guy's dad, or this guy's son, was apparently cured of cancer. He was given enough money to cure his cancer, or at least go under treatment. And the dad doesn't even show any emotion. Again, it's another, wow, there's this, between this and the Jets winning, it's been a great week for me. Like, it just makes no sense, these people's reaction. So I'm sure a lot of people are hearing about this. Again, I just have to reiterate, it goes so much deeper than sports. But always, like, no matter what you're told, I don't care if you are told the sky is blue or 2 plus 2 is 4, question it these days, because when you don't question things, you have schmucks like this come out of nowhere and literally become the most powerful voice on the internet. And that's a very scary thing when you have, again, narcissistic, self-serving interests that are basically in complete control of children's minds and the way children think, and being idolized. It could be a very dangerous thing. So I'm curious what happens going forward. I'm curious what Musk says. Again, these guys could be best friends and already working together. I mean, you never know. And I would speculate that they've had a few conversations. Musk is another one that I think there's a reason Beast wants to be like Musk, because Musk is another troll, as I like to put it. A lot of people think he's a beacon for free speech. I personally think he's a businessman, and Musk said as much. He said he respects Edison way more than Tesla, which is, to me, a pretty incriminating stance to take, because Tesla was a good individual who wanted to help people, whereas Tesla or Edison was obviously just completely fixated on the business aspect. And that's the reason Musk gives. He says, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman first. Everything else comes second. So Beast likes to pretend he's a philanthropist first, and then the business kind of is a nice little consolation prize. But these two are way more alike than people think. And I think they're already in conversation. But I didn't want to spend like an hour just ranting about this dude. I just wanted to go into the many different reasons I think he's full of nonsense and why this makes no sense according to his own testimonials about what he wanted to do in life. You know, the money first aspect and not wanting to work for this hero don't make sense. Again, this is coming off of him saying he cured the blind, got called out for that. He got called out for editing, like I said, that girl out of his video. That wasn't that big of a deal. But that was one he couldn't walk back because like she came out and showed what actually happened and then what he claims happened in the video and basically said, yeah, just to make his video more interesting, he pretended I got eliminated first. And again, at least nobody's like getting screwed out of money there. They're all a cesspool of miscreants, in my opinion, these YouTube megastars that clearly just aren't as humble as they're portraying. But at the end of the day, it just shows us he does edit videos. He admits it himself here, wherever I found these tweets. You know, it took too long for this last video to upload or to edit because of all the footage, so it's going to be longer than he thought. It's because he's micromanaging every aspect of these videos so they can somehow line up with the abhorrent claims that he's making that just don't make any sense. So yeah, I encourage you, if you were on the fence about this guy or you weren't too sure, just watch some of his videos. Even the 2 minutes we were scrolling over the solitary confinement video, you probably saw how ridiculous it is. Sometimes watching without sound helps, like if you like I was just hovering over it. The reason being is you're not hearing him nonsensically explain away all this timeline and what's happening and oh, I'm feeling this. You're just watching it, and when you're just watching without him trying to explain everything away, it's even more incriminating because you just see this guy that looks the exact same, and it looks like 5 minutes have passed, and he's claiming a day's passed. And again, it doesn't line up with any of his other videos. You know, he's talking about how he's starving a couple hours in the video where he said he went a month without eating. Like a week goes by, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good." Again, at the end of that video, there's no proof. You just see feet on a scale. You don't even see him get on the scale. You just see feet on a scale, and he's like, "Oh, I lost 10 pounds." Yep, there's the proof. So again, it's frustrating when there's so many people that believe somebody. Like there's some things that you're not going to convince people on, like sports being scripted, you know. But enough people are open-minded that it's like, okay, at least you can reason. With Mr. Beast, there are so many people that just blindly believe this guy and like immediately auto defend him and oh, you know, you're just mad that there's a nice guy giving away money or you're just jealous of Mr. Beast. And again, there's millions of people out there doing great things, making a lot of money, doing great for themselves. It's the fact that this guy is so clearly full of baloney and the fact that he targets kids and now those kids' parents are believing it. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. If you think he's just another, you know, YouTube algorithm writer who understands how YouTube works and was able to catapult himself to fame and the whole thing's a gimmick. I'm curious if you actually believe him. You can let me know why. You know, what makes you believe him? Like, what part of his videos made you say, "Up, nope, he must be telling the truth," or which interview was it that made you really believe the guy? But yeah, I'm very curious what people think about this, just because I don't cover the guy a lot. But again, I made my channel to expose all forms of, in my opinion, just complete ne'er-do-wells who are just lying, and his show is, in my opinion, very much scripted. But we had a whole playlist on the guy, and again, our last channel got Thanos snapped. Maybe that was part of the reason. But I went over the submarine video. It's a pretty long video, and just because of all the lies that I had noticed that I wanted to go over. Here, when I saw the Musk news, I thought I'd go into it, and just some other things, like I said, the fasting and the curing the blind, the dog video, that are clearly not on the up and up. It just looks like this guy gets like 7 or 8 paid actors and his friends, goes to some abandoned building, and then completely produces his channel like a movie. That's what it looks more like to me. Okay, you're gonna play the doctor, get some scrubs on. You're gonna play the vet. Make sure you know you know what a dog, how to handle a dog. In this video, up you're gonna play the guy on the forklift. Let's throw a nice little yellow and orange vest on you. Like, it's just ridiculous, and I can't think of one occasion where he's actually proven that these experts are who they say they are by giving us a name, or he's even in the facility he claims to be in. Because again, it's always like, oh, I'm at this random car dealership, and you see him talking, walking through the dealership, and then he skips the part where he pays for the car. He just flips to another segment, and the car is in the middle of a field. He's like, okay, now I bought the car, so I'm gonna give it to somebody. He could have rented a car. He could have got a junker. There's so many things this guy could have done, and he always cuts the video and does the jump cuts during the part that would be proving him right. So to me, it's all very interesting. Horrible debater. I'd love to see this guy in a debate with somebody who actually wants to press him, because even when he's asked a very passive question like Logan Paul was doing, he gets tripped up on the money aspect, on basically any of the aspects where it doesn't make sense where he's doing what he's saying he's doing. So again, I don't cover this guy too much, but he's sometimes he makes the news, and the fact that like mainstream news is like fangirling over this guy is quite concerning. Obviously, the mainstream news is not somebody or an entity we should be taken seriously anyway. But when that's happening, it means they're trying to push this guy like past YouTube, and doing TED Talks, things like that. And it could be very dangerous if you have children looking up to this guy, believing he's a good guy. So yeah, hopefully people start seeing the truth more with this guy. There was another channel, and he put out a great video exposing Beast. I noticed the video is gone now, so I'm guessing he was forced to delete it because his channel's still up. He's like a gaming channel, not a bunch of subscribers, but he's a smaller channel like me. But he put out just a great video explaining why nothing Mr. Beast was claiming made any sense. And I noticed that video is gone now. And you just can't find videos on YouTube of people telling the truth about this guy. Even the Mr. Beast exposed videos wind up being like satirical videos where they're mocking people for calling the guy a phony. So like I'm one of the very few channels that I know of that actually has videos out calling the guy a liar, because I do believe he's a liar. And again, when all the top YouTubers run to his defense and always defend him when there's some kind of scandal, that, in my opinion, should give away a lot too. These people all stick together because, again, it's just a big club, as George Carlin says, that we're not in. But yeah, again, I don't want to take too long, but there's a lot to uncover when you go into this guy, and just every tweet gives away a little more about how he really is and how little he knows about what he's supposedly doing. So I'm curious what you guys think. If you haven't seen my other Beast videos, this will be your first one. I'm curious if you also had a couple suspicions about the guy, or if you think, again, if you think he's on the up and up, that's fine. We can disagree. I just can't see how. Again, outside of crypto, he said he got rich off crypto, by the way. So apparently he was just like a regular guy, got crypto rich, and then that's how he started his whole YouTube thing. Now, again, what's interesting is years ago, he was doing YouTube videos that had nothing to do with giving money away. They were videos for the sole purpose of becoming YouTube famous. He admitted this. I want to become YouTube famous. And then he admitted he wanted to give away money. So I don't think it's that much of a stretch in logic to believe, well, he could be lying about getting money to become YouTube famous since that's what he wants to do. Not the other way around, where he just happened to become YouTube famous by being a nice guy. Because, again, that's not even lining up with what he said he wanted out of life. So yeah, that's really it. The Musk thing makes no sense at all. Again, it goes completely against everything that this guy says he wanted to do in life, as does most of his videos and most of the things he says. He's a walking contradiction. There should be a contest between him and The Rock, who's the bigger liar and the bigger phony. It would probably be really close as far as percentage, because they give each other a run for their money. They need to team up, actually. I don't think I've ever seen The Rock and Mr. Beast in the same place. That would be one hell of a collab. Just watching those two lie to each other and gaslight each other would be something I would look very much forward to watching. So yeah, we'll have all of our picks coming out, of course, as we always do. But we had a few minutes, so I thought, you know what, let me go into this schmuck, cover another video on him. Again, my mind's not going to change. I looked at the first time I saw this guy's channel, I did believe it because I wasn't questioning it. And that's why I've learned you literally have to question everything. I don't care if your mom shows you a video of you being born, question it until it's proven otherwise, because you just can't believe stuff anymore. And I watched a few videos and I wasn't paying attention to the jump cuts. I was just watching, okay, that's funny, that's cool. And once I saw the Mr. Beast Exposed video from this other guy, and it was actually because I searched for it, because I said, this seems a little weird. Doesn't seem that kosher to me. I started looking up videos. I finally found one, and the guy did a great job of, again, he just went into, okay, he's making this claim. Let's see if it's possible. Simple stuff, like him saying he bought out all the Xboxes out of Best Buy, or PS5s, I think it was. And then the guy in the video is like, yeah, you have to give your ID. You can only buy one per household. It's showing that it's 6 a.m., but somehow he's in the Best Buy at 6 a.m. buying all these Xboxes. And that's just one little detail, but it was a great video. It's a shame to see he took it down, or it was taken down. But yeah, I watched him with an open mind. Well, the first time I watched him, again, it was kind of with a closed mind, because I didn't want to, there was no reason for me to believe he was just lying. I didn't know who he was. He was just being recommended to me for some reason. And once I just slightly looked into it and started doing some diligence, I realized, yeah, he's completely full of shit. And I would reckon to say that most people that watch somebody explain, hey, I think he's full of shit, and then goes back and watches a Mr. Beast video, will have the same exact response I did. Man, how did I not immediately, like, from this first second, see that this guy was just editing everything? And again, I think it's because we watch a lot of things with low attention spans. We just kind of watch it for the entertainment value. And so, yeah, it's really easy for kids, to fall for it. And then, of course, the more you watch, the more you like the guy, the more you don't want to admit he's a liar. I'm very open-minded, so I don't care who it is. It could be the person that I consider the most, the person I hold the highest amount of respect for. If there's some very obvious evidence that they're lying, I'm going to be open-minded and change my mind on that person. So, yeah, let me know what you think about Jimmy here. If you think he is just a swell guy, or if you think he's a complete liar who's being pushed by the elites because he can, again, he has a complete stranglehold over kids, and anything he says, people are going to believe just because of how big of an audience he's been able to build up. So again, probably tomorrow I'll have out our football picks for the weekend, but I had some time. The news, I don't get frustrated much, but just seeing the amount of people that blindly believe this guy does frustrate me a bit. The day he's exposed is going to be a good day for the world. Might not be for a while, but I do think it'll happen. And like I said, we all have those theories that in our minds we know they're true, and the fact that so many other people don't, it kind of frustrates us. So just like, again, anyone wants their number one theory to be vindicated, I'm very much looking forward to the day that this guy's exposed for the scoundrel that he is. So take care, everybody, and happy earnings.